Hey guys, I'm going to make a video for you today. That's really the first time I've made a video like this. And I really would like to discuss, should brands stand up to racism on social media? If you're new to me, my name is Heather Heuman. I live in Columbia, South Carolina. I have been in the online marketing space for around 20 years, and I've built and grown two businesses primarily on the back of social media marketing. And so what I'm going to discuss with you today is a heavy topic, but I believe for businesses, for leaders, for people that want to be bridge builders and difference makers, that this message is important enough to get out there and to share with you. If you are enjoying what you are here seeing and you want to learn more about how social media can help you grow your business, I would absolutely welcome and invite you to please subscribe to my channel and make sure that you click that little bell notification so you can find out about more upcoming videos that I've got. But today what I want to share with you is this idea. Should brands, should you as your business be talking about social media as it relates to your thoughts on racism? So I've got a couple main key things that I'm going to share with you today. In fact, I'm going to share with you 4 thoughts, and then I'm going to actually just share with you what I think for me personally. So now let me look at this as I'm a professional in the space of social media marketing. I think what you need to take into consideration, number one, is your personal branding. So I know many people that are in the online space that they have their brand and they have their company. They may have a team, they may have like a huge organization. And then that same person that may be the founder or the leader of that organization has their own personal profile, their own personal branding for them as a person, as an individual. And so what I want you to understand is that when there is a topic that is as important as racism, that is so prevalent in the conversation and in the minds and in the dialogues of our entire nation and ultimately our entire world, when you, for your personal branding, say nothing, that what you ultimately are doing is you're eliminating your opportunity to be a voice to help with the ending of racism. So that leads me to my point number 2, and that is this idea that silence speaks volumes. Now, this is my opinion. You may completely disagree, but I believe if normally your organization and your business is all about storytelling, being relevant, identifying what's happening in the present day situation of life, if there is something as important as what we have all recently experienced in the murder of George Floyd, and you don't use that voice, you don't use or leverage that leadership, whether it be on your personal branding or on your business page, that silence speaks volumes. And I would like to speak right now to anyone right now that is maybe saying to themselves, I have wanted to say something, but I don't know what that looks like, or I don't know how to. I would encourage you to take my next suggestion, which is tip number 3. And I want you to consider putting your thoughts and words in writing. Just think of it as a personal brainstorm. I'm not saying that has to be that immediate thing that you post right now, but just take some time, take some moments, because it's important for you to try to compose your thoughts and to get those in writing and to see what you can do to add to a dialogue to help with the ending of racism. And as you look at what you've written, here are 2 things I want to give to you as personal suggestions. I want to encourage you to ask yourself, do I have a heart of empathy? And do I have a heart of compassion for others in what I just wrote? And then the 4th thing I want to share with you right now is this idea of, I mentioned this in my book, The Golden Rules of Social Media Marketing, and that is this: I want you to stand for something. And if you're right now asking yourself, or you're saying, we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about things that are serious, but I encourage you, if you are showing up as a real person that's in embracing the life and the journey that you're on, and you are a leader, and you are in this social media space, this landscape, if you will, as you are growing and developing your business, your organization, and your personal brand, I'd encourage you to say and believe in your heart that when you stand for something, it allows for people to know that that's one more thing that they have aligned with you. And I think that it's really important because there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of voices, there's a lot of opinions, but there also is a lot of facts. There's a lot of people that are in your life that you may not have maybe had prior conversations with, that you could maybe use this unfortunate, tragic event. And this George Floyd incident is not isolated. There are other instances of just a corruption of systematic injustice that's not okay. And I think that we want to be very wise to be a voice that has that compassion, that has empathy for others that don't look like us, and that we show up as a voice. And so I think that standing for humanity, all humanity. Now, I'm a Christian. I don't know where you stand in your faith, but I believe that God sees us all as beautiful creations stamped in his image, black, brown, any shade, white. God created us all. And so I believe it's important. So I would want you just to take these things into consideration. If you currently are not speaking up, I want you to realize that sometimes that silence, though you might think that it's strategic, though you might think that the time hasn't come yet, I want you to know that people are paying attention. They're paying attention to the people that they are going to conferences with. They're paying attention to organizations. They're paying attention more so now than ever than the types of conferences and the type of conferences, the people that you're choosing and selecting as speakers. So I'm just going to close out this video and share with you these words. These are my thoughts. This is me. You don't have to be me, but I encourage you to consider what your voice is, how you are using that to communicate for your brand on social media to help end racism, and let people know that they can count on you to be a voice for that ending. So here are some thoughts that I want to share with you from me personally, and maybe this will resonate with you too. I really believe, guys, that this is a hard issue. It is not an isolated incident. I believe that George Floyd was murdered by a policeman that failed his badge. I believe it failed his oath and his country. Fellow officers stood by doing absolutely nothing, just watching. And I want you to know that I realize that we all have different backgrounds and experiences that bring us to where we are in life and what racism looks like to each and every one of us. And that is sometimes what we do on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn, right? We watch and we scroll and we just keep going. It may feel extremely uncomfortable to actually talk about this, but I believe that the conversation must be had. So the core that will allow for racial healing is for there to be true, redemptive heart healing among all of humanity. I believe that it starts with each of us. We need to change. I believe that it starts with our families. We need to be an example to our children and to our grandchildren. I believe that it starts with our churches. We need to be united with our one God and united with where we stand on this topic. It starts with our civil leaders and justice. They need to end systemic bias and speak to unite us, not divide us. The love of God is the change agent. Will we choose to change? My prayers are for kingdom grace, for kingdom healing, and for kingdom justice. God is not honored when we as a culture or as individuals look down upon someone for the color of their skin, black skin, their brown skin, any shade. I have lived in the South most of my life. I have seen racism. I have lost family members due to racism. So I believe that we need to love, we need to protest righteously. Let's lead with strength, but also with kindness, and speak in words that are bridge builders so that we can live the way that God intended it to be. Now, I was looking at the words that I wrote just last night. So if it looked like I was reading from a script, I was. I was reading what I just posted myself on Facebook. So I encourage you in the comments below, if you have taken a stand and you have put that out there somewhere in your online marketing space, I want you to encourage something that's long, maybe something as detailed as what I just shared, or even just something that is simple, identifying that you are paying attention and that you see and that you have empathy and that you have compassion, I think is important. If you guys have any thoughts or feedback, I'd welcome it right here in the comments below. And again, if you are looking for more help and more tips and more insights on how you can grow your business using the power of social media, I welcome you to give me a follow here on YouTube, and feel free to check that notification bell so you can get notified when we have upcoming videos. I hope you're blessed. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everybody.